Morning, Facebook folks. JBTP in the house.
30 seconds.
All right, Josh.
Oh my gosh, I got a million text messages.
Nice.
Check. Close your business and file criminal charges. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business
That's
Bureau.
good.
Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected if you owe over $10,000 in back.
I like that.
10 seconds.
All right.
A free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote at 800-207-1265. 800-207-1265.
The following program does not necessarily represent the views
But what do we say,
opinions of the
Facebook
staff,
folks?
management, or ownership
But
of
it
this
should.
It's time to get on the right path with Right Path.
Actually, if you can turn my mic volume down.
All right.
Oh no, my ear. Yeah, there you go. Turn that down a little bit.
Are you on 2 or 3?
I'm on 2, I think.
Okay.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on
Is
2.
that better?
Oh, it's much better. You're
Okay.
a loud dude.
Yes, I
especially
am.
Amplified.
Yes, I am. Oh, Josh, we weren't talking to you. You can keep that volume up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a control over here.
713-785-1817. Toll free 877-881-0271. Here's Tom and Jason.
Hey, welcome to the show. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. 713-785-1817. We are a call-in show. You can call in if you want to. If you want to ask questions about finding houses, funding houses, fixing houses, analyzing deals, disposing of deals, all of those kind of things. Buy, fix, and flip, wholesale, buy and hold. Theme of the day, retiring in 5 years or less. How about that? Is that okay?
I don't want to retire. I want to work the rest of my life.
Oh, yeah? Do you want to have the cash flow that you could retire if you wanted to?
I don't know. I mean, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, you just want to just keep getting a W-2 wage, just working for the man.
I hear Social Security is going to work out really well. Oh, but Tom, I'm investing in Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, nice.
I'm investing in Bitcoin. I do think
It'd
it's
be
funny.
one thing if Bitcoin were even a derivative, right? So that not most people don't know what a derivative is, but where it derives its value from something else.
Yeah.
But I mean, even if it would link to anything else, I mean, or if you could, I mean, it's just
It's amazing. We were talking about on the break. You guys got to watch The Big Short.
Yeah.
And just replace housing with Bitcoin.
Yeah.
When my favorite part of that show is when they're at a gentleman's club,
Yeah.
and one of the
It's a club for gentlemen.
one of the employees
Yeah.
there is
Part of the staff.
part of the staff is performing with 2 of the investment bankers that are there.
Yeah.
And the staff shares with them that she owns 9 mortgages on single-family houses in Florida. And they both look at each other, throw her off the lap, and then they immediately jump on the plane and go back to New York to say, how do we short this? Because if she's in on this, we know they don't know what they're doing. And it's and the Bitcoin thing right now is, man, that's...
You have very unsophisticated investors that are making decisions. And so if the crowd's running one direction, the smart money typically is going the other way. In fact, so now there are some exchanges, right, that are working on ways to
CBOE has already got the futures exchange up, so
be able to short it now, right?
Well, yeah, I mean this is the futures market. I'm kind of curious when the options are going to come out. What's interesting is we were chatting about this yesterday. For something to be so quote technologically advanced, it's not very liquid.
No.
It takes a lot of time to exchange the money, exchange cash for the actual, I'll use this in quotes, assets. So that illiquidity of the asset is baked into the price.
Right.
So what happens when the market starts to crash? What happens? Not even crash. What if the market starts to devalue? It starts to decrease in value. You can't liquidate it fast enough.
Right.
So
you write it down.
Yeah, you're right. So and then the other thing we're talking about, these are all unregulated exchanges.
Right.
So in
Well,
an unregulated exchange, if you've got a time period in which you can liquidate this buy or sell the asset, you as the exchange, this is great. If it takes like a day or two for you to be able to secure your position,
Right.
and you're the exchange, you get to see all the buy and sell orders
Oh, right.
before
Yeah,
anybody
yeah.
else.
Right. You get to be the market maker.
How awesome
Yeah.
is that?
Good to be the exchange.
So I'm not, and you know what, guys? I'm not saying any of these guys would
Oh,
do
no,
this.
no. Casinos would never cheat.
No way they would
No.
do. Unregulated exchange that you're working on in China, I am sure they're totally legit.
Yeah.
So I'm sure nobody
What
sees
was that?
all.
What was that poker site that was collected all that money and then just
and
just
it screwed him. Yeah,
yeah,
I think did he end up going to jail?
I don't know.
But in any case, so totally legit, right? I'm sure that when they look at all the buy-sell orders that take place over the next 3 days, I'm sure they don't make any investment decisions with their assets in Bitcoin.
No.
I'm sure that doesn't happen.
Now, did you see the article that North Korea is actually turning its sights on stealing? Because apparently, they're pretty good at hacking. Yeah.
It's pretty easy. It's actually pretty easy to steal Bitcoin. There was a big, like $30 million heist last week.
Right.
So yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all. You're gonna see a lot more theft.
Yeah. Okay, so there you go.
You know what's hard to steal?
No.
A house.
Yeah, it's
I closed a deal too Monday. We made 45 grand on. It's like,
yeah,
well, that's better than Bitcoin.
yeah. Although it's interesting because on paper we've seen people attempt to steal a house, like steal a deed, and but there there are laws that prevent that, so you can actually.
Well, we've had conversations with the Harris County District Attorney, and some of those people are going to start getting phone calls pretty soon here.
Yes, they are.
So yeah, you can steal a house via fraud. You
Yeah.
can do that. You can file a fraudulent deed.
Right.
But it's much easier to just buy them, legit.
Yes.
So
That's true.
we sold one Monday, made $45,000 on, and then we're buying one too. But I don't know if you signed the closing docs or what. I hadn't seen it. Maybe the closing got delayed for some reason. But buying another one, we met with a client in our group, bought 10 houses in 14 days.
Yeah.
And looking at his numbers, I think he's all in for, if I remember, 1.2.
Well, there were 2 weekends in there.
Yeah, there were 2.
Yeah.
That's true. There were 2
He took
weekends.
Saturday and Sundays off. So
Yeah.
he bought a house a day for 10 days.
So he's in for 1.2 million, if I remember. The net, the current value is 1.8 million. So he picked up $600,000 in net worth over 14 days.
It's a pretty good 14 days.
Not bad. And I think cash flow was somewhere between $3,500 and $4,000 a month for 2 weeks worth of work. But I'm sure Bitcoin is better. I'm sure.
Yeah, $600,000 of equity capture in 14 days, plus the cash flow he's going to get. I mean, it's just, that's pretty sick.
I don't understand.
So if you were making that kind of money, could you retire in a year or 5?
Most people could retire just on those 2 weeks.
Yeah, right.
10 houses.
Yeah.
10 houses, $4,000 a month in cash flow and $600,000 in net worth.
We had an event here last night, and one of the things that Colby was asking the question, if you had all your debt paid off, right?
Yeah.
And you just were looking at cash flow, like how much money would you need cash flow? They said think of the number and then round up to the nearest 5,000. And you're like, so if $5,000 could retire you, if you had a consistent $5,000 a month coming in over and above your expenses being paid, could you retire? And a lot of people raise their hand. Yeah, they would be done. They'd be retired. And then the most common number was $10,000. A few people said $20,000. I guess they want a really lavish lifestyle. I mean, $20,000. If you're debt free, is a lot of money.
Yeah, it's all relative.
Yeah,
right. You
right.
could spend. I mean, we know guys have spent tens of millions of dollars in a year.
Yeah, of
and
course.
were broke at the end of the year.
Of course, yeah.
The capitalist system works in such a way that no matter how much money you've got,
Yes.
they can take it all.
Yes, they can.
So, but yeah, that's a good point. I mean, what's the number that you need to retire? I get people all the time in real estate. They're like, Jason, I want to retire in real estate when I make $100,000 a month. And I'll say, great. Do you make $100,000 a month now? No. Do you make $100,000 a year? Yes. Well, how do you do that? Well, I work 60 hours a week. Okay, well, let's do this. Let's get you $100,000 a year
In real estate.
Yeah,
right.
That you can do passively. Once we've learned how to earn the money actively, awake, earning it, then let's learn how to do it passively.
Yeah.
I think some people get in and they're like, well, I want to be a millionaire in 10 minutes. Look, man, you make $100,000 a year. I mean, we can't, you're an engineer. You make $150,000 a year. How long did it take you to do that? You went to 10 years worth of school. You got 20 years worth of experience. Now maybe you make $200,000 a year, but it took decades to get to that point. Simply replacing that income overnight, it's not going to happen. Now, can you do it in 5 years or less? Absolutely. Absolutely. But you got to work, right? Got to find the deals, got to fund the deals, you got to market for the deals, you've got to know how to rehab these things, you got to know how to lease them, all that other stuff. And that's what we do in RightPath.
Yes. And it's what we teach at the weekend retreat. By the way, we've got one coming up. Starts Friday. And there are a few spots left. You can go to rightpathrealestate.com, register for that event. It's not a free event, but we do have a free event coming up tomorrow night.
Yes.
So and that's going to be here at our offices at 11451 Katy Freeway. Again, go to rightpathrealestate.com, register for our free event. We want to help people retire faster on a faster path or plan than what they're on right now. Most people, in fact, that was one of the things last night, is that most people, when they said, hey, how much is it going to take to retire? And what was interesting is that, people would say, hey, if you want to retire on $10,000 a month of passive income, right? How much does it take to do that? And it was interesting because one person said $200,000, and another person said like $5 million, and another person said like $1.5 million. And the sad truth is most people don't know what it takes. They're just kind of like, it's almost like they're throwing darts, and they're not doing any kind of research.
That's a great question, because you don't have to ask, hey, you got a retirement plan? Everybody raise your hand. Oh, yeah, I've got a retirement plan.
Yeah, right.
Well, how much money do you need to retire?
I don't know.
$200,000, $300,000. Now, if somebody says 1.7, 2 mil, I need 3.5. They do have a real plan because they've got a target.
Right.
But asking that question, then they don't.
Right.
Because it's like, well, how much do you need to retire? Well, I need $10,000 a month. Great. Well, how much money do you need to save? Well, I don't know, $1 million bucks, and you're like, oh, you're off by a factor of like 3.5.
Right. Yeah.
Right. I mean, just that number doesn't even make sense. So that's a great way to ask that question.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much do you need to retire? And if you're like, well, how much do you want to make? Retirement.
And what happens is you find people start doing some crazy math that this like, in order to make $10,000 a month, I need to have 200,000, which is like a 50% rate. It's just like, wait, what? Yeah, you're not going to make $120,000 a year on a $200,000 investment. Not without a tremendous amount of risk that could potentially cost you your entire investment.
You can do it with real estate.
Yeah,
you can absolutely do it with real estate. I mean, how much you wanted to? How much do they want?
$10,000 a month.
$10,000 a month on $200,000, right? Yeah. So what's that rate of return?
About 60%.
So 60% rate of return. So if you're buying a house for, let's say, you're all in leveraged, let's say $5,000.
Yeah, you can do
a
60% cash on cash return, right? Yeah, you can do that.
So you can totally do that. $5,000 a house. And
even $10,000 a house, you could get 20 houses, right?
Yeah, 20 houses.
That would get you to 6,000.
Yeah. So $20,000 a house. So you buy 10 houses, they cash flow you $500 a month. That's $6,000, right? So yeah, you can totally do that in real estate.
Yeah.
Now, ask your investment advisor today, can you do that? They're going to laugh.
Yeah.
Well, do you have 40 years? Because that's really what it's going to take at $200,000, right? Do you have 25 years? Do you have 20 years at 6% compound? So.
Are those big digital backdrops y'all use for these FB Lives? No, we flew out to right in front of Everest. So, hey, you're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817, 713-785-1817. See you on the other side of the break. Yeah, let's see. Hold on.
That's why I'm wearing a long sleeve.
Yeah.
I got like a little sweater thing on. It's turned into one of my favorite shirts.
Climbing up. Now we're gonna. Oh, sorry. Now we're gonna ski down.
Ski down. I don't think that's a skiable mountain.
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
unless you're not worried about living when you make it to the bottom.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Hey, you got the you need to play the background music.
100 projects.
Yeah, thanks.
Which has helped us to create our 3 keys to success. Use a detailed scope of work so that everything gets done. Train and maintain.
I was just talking to you about the intro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, earlier when I heard you guys say turn it down, I thought you were talking about.
Yeah. No,
it was on our side.
Yeah, we've got a little box here.
That's 832-742-9992, or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Investor loans offering up to 100% financing are still available. You just have to know where to look. Look no further than Noble Mortgage. Noble Mortgage is a full-service mortgage company that's been helping investors since 2003. Noble Mortgage offers up to 100%
Parker, it's
financing
a green screen.
to investors that covers
I have not
purchase,
worn my
repairs,
Hey,
and
Jeff.
closing costs.
I've not
In
worn
addition
my
to
green
private
screen
money,
polo.
Yeah, right.
offers
It's been a little
conventional
cold. It's a
loans,
short
FHA,
sleeve.
and even
So
no
I'll wear my
income
green screen polo at
documentation
some
loans
point.
For both residential
Of course, it's
and
probably going to be
commercial
like
properties.
80 degrees
Call
by
and ask
Friday,
about our
right? What is
5-point
the...
guarantee, which includes
That's
free
Chris Bounds is
pre-qualifications
funny.
within 2 business days.
I'm hoping to find some
Call
bitcoins left behind by a home seller.
713-680-8100 or visit noblemoney.com.
It's gonna be in the 60s
That's
today.
noblemoney.com.
I think
Our
this is
team
a
has
fun
over
winter.
50 years experience in the mortgage industry. Call us today, 713
Chris Funk did his first takeoff today.
Or visit us on the web, noblemoney.com, noblemoney.com.
NMLS 292143.
I told Chris too. I was like, you think mountain biking and road biking and
Yeah.
golf is expensive? It's nothing
Yeah.
compared to flying planes.
Right.
Avid real
That
estate
is true.
investor. You know the greatest mistake real estate investors make is not understanding the potential liability that exists from owning real estate. At Anderson Business, Legal, and Tax Advisors, we specialize in protecting real estate investors in all 50 states. In addition to structuring your business for optimum protection, we provide guidance so you pay the least amount of taxes available under the law. We have 150 employees that range from lawyers to CPAs to estate planners and much more. Download our free ebook, The Invisible Investor
Hey, Michael,
Strategy,
in base
today
camp
at
this week,
AndersonAdvisors.com.
we're going to talk about
Risk reduction
the
analysis
deal
and
the deal
financial
analyzer
blueprint at
tool.
800
Any questions you guys have as it relates to that?
Anderson
And
Business Advisors will help
the
you keep more of what you earn.
the
Call us
student we
today
talked
at
about in base camp that's bought 10 houses in 14 days,
800-747-4141
he's going to do a
and mention
presentation
Right
for you
Path
guys
Real Estate.
and talk about the deals that he's doing.
60 seconds.
He actually needs to raise a little bit of money for something he's doing. So I said, come on down to base camp and share the good news here. So that'll be this Thursday.
Single-family real estate is one of the best investments you can make.
Morning,
Find out
Daniel.
how JB Fund Services offers a 9% preferred return and up to a 13% waterfall. Call us today at 281-915-0906 or visit our website, jbfundservices.com. That's 281-915-0906. This investment is offered to accredited investors.
You
30
found or
seconds.
inherited a great investment property. Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly,
Boy, I hadn't seen
what to
Michelle
do
in a
to
while.
maximize your
Michelle
investment
Imler?
while mitigating
She was here
risk.
last week.
This is exactly why
On
we
Thursday.
started Next
Yeah, I didn't see her
Gen
last week. I
Appraisal.
must have been doing
Yeah,
something.
you weren't here.
Appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give NextGen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
Oh, no, we had somebody sign up.
1110.
Call Jason or Tom at
I had 56.
713-785-1817 or look for us on Facebook Live at facebook.com/RightPathRealEstate.
Hey, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. Hey, good morning, Ginger. So this morning, if you're joining us late, we've been talking about Bitcoin. We've been talking about how to get rich using Bitcoin. Psych, just kidding. You're like, wait, what show did I turn into? Yeah. No, it's Right Path Real Estate Radio. We're going to talk about how you can retire in 5 years or less using real estate as your investing vehicle. And what we're talking about in the previous segment is most people, sadly, don't have a plan to work towards retirement. But not only that, it's worse than that. It's that they can come up pretty quickly with, I'd like to have X number of dollars, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month passive. If I had that coming in monthly, I could retire. But then you say, okay, you want $10,000 a month in passive. How much in assets do you have to have in order to get there? And they don't know.
Yeah.
So and you ask that question, and it's like it reminded me a lot of when I used to do bus tours over at another real estate investing group. And I would go the day before because we were going to go tour some buy and hold properties. And I'd go as the contractor and do an estimate on the rehab. And let's say that the rehab was, 1,600 square foot house. It was basically a $20 a foot rehab. So what is that? $32,000 on the rehab, right?
Yeah.
And it always fascinated, and I would always have a contest. Whoever gets the closest, and not like the Price is Right without going over. It's you could either side, high or low.
Right.
In fact, it'd probably even be a little bit better if you're just a little high, right?
Right.
I mean, if you came in at 33,000 and you were closest, you'd win a $50 gift card to Home Depot. Something
So
like that.
you're doing a bus tour, and we're going out to look at ugly
Yeah.
houses, right? They're destroyed.
It's a house that 1,600 square foot house. It's not destroyed, but it needs updated kitchen, updated bathrooms. It needs new flooring, needs new paint, needs might need a little bit of foundation repair. That kind of stuff. I mean, it's 32,000 on a 16. That's not a lot for a 4,000 square foot house. That's a lot for a 1,600 square foot house. Okay,
Right.
so going out there And what always fascinated me is there was always maybe one person that could get pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like it was more luck than just actual knowing the numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the range of wrong answers would go from somebody would typically say, yeah, I think I could do all this for $3,000. And you'd be like, what? But then there'd be somebody else that would be like, yeah, oh, man, this is a lot of work. I think it's like $84,000.
And you're like, whoa.
And you're like, man, you're not even – like if we were playing darts – you're not missing the board. You're missing the wall. I mean,
In fact, you just threw a dart
yeah,
at the dartboard at the bar next door.
right, yeah, yeah, and that bar next door's been closed for 3 years. Yeah, so I don't know what that is. Okay, so it's like that bad. Oh, check it out. There.
Oh, we got a window washer in my office today.
Yeah, on the outside. We're up on the 3rd floor, and yeah,
I bet that guy's cold.
Well, I went up. You know, it's funny. I went up the elevators with those two guys yesterday. They were going to the roof, and I was going to our floor. And I said, "How many days does it take for y'all to do this?" And they said, "About 3 days to do the whole building." I'm like, "All right, well, I'll see y'all in a few days, I guess."
Oh, sweet. Anyway, so you're going on this rehab tour, and everyone's giving you crazy low numbers, crazy high numbers, and anything in between, right?
Absolutely. And the idea was these people didn't have a clue.
Mm-hmm.
And
despite going through all that education, isn't that interesting?
Right. And what's fascinating is most people that we meet with, they're pretty bright people. I mean, they've got common sense. They know the way the world works, all those kind of things. But you say, hey, how much does it take to retire on $10,000 a month?
Mm-hmm.
And they don't. I mean, some people will say, "Oh, well, I think that's $100,000," and other people will say, "Well, I think it's like $6 million," and they're off by about as much as these people are in estimating rehabs.
Yep.
And then here's one more fascinating thing that I've discovered. So you and I, we've been at this for a little while now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I started with little or no knowledge in real estate. Going back to 2010, right?
Yeah.
October 2010, started doing rehabs for investors. And that's really where I got my start. And you got your start, like, really in...
Right around 2011, 2012.
Yeah, right. And then that's how we met.
Actually, Carson is 6.
Yeah, so 6 years ago.
He was born on the... when he was born, I moved in my first tenant. So he's
that
about
day,
6 years ago.
Because, in fact, I was at the house the day
That's
he was
right.
being born, at your house. And I think you moved him in the next day.
I did.
Yeah.
Because Grandma came in town. She was taking care of Sarah and the kids. And I'm like...
Yeah, because we were discussing the gas line. You had a gas line, and that's why I was there at the job site. And so that's... Okay, so 6 years ago.
Yeah,
Well,
6 years.
And so... Here's what happens. People come to our weekend retreat, and they learn a ton of information.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a little bit like a college degree in real estate education. And so we know people, like you've got multiple degrees.
Mm-hmm.
It took you how long to get your undergrad?
4.5 years.
Okay, so I squeezed it into 5. And then only because I changed majors at the end of my junior year. And I liked A&M. I mean, it's a fun place to go. So... but that being said, I mean, you got your undergrad in environmental
science chemistry.
Okay, so can you teach me in a weekend everything you learned in environmental science and chemistry? No, right. And if you tried, if you were to put together a PowerPoint or a pro presenter.
We use pro presenters driving us nuts.
Oh my gosh! So if you please put together PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Of everything you learned in environmental science and just spew it at me for a weekend, you could probably get it all out.
We'd probably get stuck somewhere on chirality and chemistry or differential equations. Somewhere in that weekend,
right.
We would get stuck somewhere between those two.
Right. But even if you just glossed over it and you covered everything that I needed to know at a high level, I mean, it's not like I could go out and implement it. And so, and what's fascinating to me is the people that go out there, and it's a little bit like climbing Everest. And I love that we have the Everest in the background right now. And if Everest is your retirement goals, and there's such a great analogy. If I wanted to climb Everest as a person that's never climbed a mountain outside of like going, to Colorado or something like that, on skis and taking the lift up there.
Yeah.
And Everest is nothing like going to Colorado. I hear. I've never been there, but I hear.
Yeah.
You don't just throw. I think you don't just put on a set of hiking boots and just to say how hard can it be? It's just one
walk.
It's just one. I mean, I've been walking for 52 years
Yeah.
now.
I mean, it's just walking,
It's
right?
just one foot in front of another, and you just don't quit, right? I mean, I've got some determination. I've got the right attitude, and I've got the right spirit, and
so I'm watching a ton of hiking videos
Yeah.
right now, and I've
you're
watched.
probably reading some hiking blogs.
Yeah, and all that stuff. So I'm reading right now. The girl I'm following. I just watched her video series on the Appalachian Trail.
Yeah, let girls. Never mind.
Yeah. She does the Appalachian Trail. She's like 31 years
It's
old.
a joke.
Yeah. Well, you know what's so funny? Let's talk about that. She ran into the oldest person who's ever done the Appalachian Trail during her through hike. Now, remember, a through hike is from one section to the other. It's 2,800 miles.
And she nonstop,
walking,
like nonstop, right?
Nonstop.
Yeah, well, I mean, stopping for food,
stopping in
bathroom
town.
breaks,
That's but it's 2,800 miles
and sleep, right?
So she ran into a woman who's the oldest person who's ever done it. She's 75.
Wow.
So she's 31, and there's
So no woman past 75 has ever done it?
I think the oldest on record, she's 75. Period, between men and women. She's the oldest who's done a through hike of the Appalachian Trail.
Hear that, Dad? Time to start training.
That's right. Yeah, Tom's dad's he just turned 75, right?
Yeah,
Or
he did.
74. I can't remember. So
just jumped out of an airplane for the first time and graduating in May with a master's degree.
There you go.
Yeah.
In history, right?
Yeah.
So
oldest student right now at Sam.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So, however, I'm watching her blog, and it's not just put on a backpack with some food and go walking for 2,800 miles. It's not how it works. And it's, I'm going to go to a couple of
We got to throw on some Keds.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You know what's funny? Even shoes.
I know, right?
Shoes only last 400 miles.
Yeah.
I bet most people didn't know that.
Yeah.
You're hiking 2,800 miles.
Yeah, you got to go through 7 pairs of shoes, right?
Where do I get shoes on the trail?
Right.
It's not like you're carrying 4 packs of shoes in your
You
backpack,
better not,
right?
No.
So it's all of this stuff, and it's amazing because it's the little things that stop you.
And you don't know that until you've talked to
That's
somebody who's done it.
That's right.
And you just think, oh yeah, it's easy to do. I mean, walking. I mean, if I can walk a mile, I can walk 5. If I can walk 5, I can do 10. If I can walk 10, I can do 20. If I can do 20, I can do 100. If I can do 100, I can do 20. No, you can't.
and I'm telling you, it's like, I've hiked 10 miles in a day. Yeah, but hiking 2,800 contiguous miles is a completely different game.
Right.
It's the same on the bike too, where I see people, I'm like, I can ride my bike 10 miles. Try doing 200 in a day. That's a totally different. And when we talk about what we do at Right Path, hey, if you want to do 20 miles or you want to do 3,000, we've done the 3,000.
Yeah.
I could totally teach you how to do 20. But here's the problem. Most people are teaching real estate who've never hiked 20 miles.
Right.
And they think hiking 20 miles, doing 1 or 2 houses, is the same as doing 400, and they're not even close to being right. I mean, it's a completely different game. It's completely different. Actually, one of our buddies, Robert, is fond of telling people, is like, your first year in real estate, you're figuring it out, you're doing some deals, you're making some money. And then the second year, you're kind of scaling that up. And then by year 3, you almost throw everything out.
Yeah.
And then you're rebuilding all your systems based off what you know now. That's why it takes about 3 to 5 years to be able to retire in real estate, because that third year is where you're really kind of gathering the troops, if you will. You're gathering all that experience, all that knowledge. There's a guy I met about not even 6 months ago. And I told him, I said, I've been looking for you for 4.5 years.
That's so weird. We were talking about my dad, and he shows up.
He shows up in the feed, right?
It's crazy.
So I told this guy, I said, we've been looking for you for 4.5 years. And he's revolutionizing how we are financing properties.
Yes.
So, and that's inside our base camp. You got to be trained on how we do it, because it's not for everybody. You got to have this specialized. It's kind of like, If we were to do some of these programs outside of our base camp group,
Right.
it wouldn't make any sense.
Right.
You don't teach people how to hike Everest if they've never hiked a peak before, right? I mean,
Correct.
it just doesn't make any sense.
Right.
So, in any case, guys, we're talking about how to build wealth and income through real estate. When we get back from the break, we're talking more about that. Jason Bible, Tom Perry, Right Path Real Estate.
Are you expecting
It's kind
to
of like
close
I saw
accurately,
Richard
on
popped in the
time,
feed. You know,
with
we had
confidence,
lunch
on
last
your
week, and
home
we're talking about
purchase?
this
You've come to
big
the right
challenge that
place.
both of us are having in
Yeah,
our
right.
business. And I'm like, Man, if people, we put a camera right here and just went through this, people would just be just right over their head. But it's the difference between buying a couple hundred houses a year and buying like 5.
Company concentrates on
There's nothing wrong with that. It's just like,
But Jason, what you don't understand is if I buy 5 houses and I make $50,000 a house, I'm making $250,000.
oh man,
Give us a call
making
today
it rain
to
at the
find out the
club.
simple
Yeah.
steps to get started. I'm Jennifer Hernandez.
Or what I find with a
the
lot of
Hernandez
guys, where they're
team
like,
at
if
Legacy
I can
Mutual
just
Mortgage.
make
Jennifer.legacymutual.com
$10,000 a house. That's the
or
guys I
call
run into from a certain real estate guru.
713-579-3611.
But they're like, Jason, like I know everything about real estate.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of 17 deals.
Yeah.
Why is it worth my time to go to your weekend retreat? I'll say it's not. Why don't you just join base camp?
Yeah.
You just stroke a check for that, right? Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh.
don't have that money.
Oh, I don't have
Yeah.
that kind of money. And I'm
Right.
like, well, you probably need it more than most.
Yeah.
Because those deals you're in, you're probably going to lose money on half of them.
Inspections was founded by investor Jeremy
Oh,
Humphrey
you're just a hater.
I am a hater.
From the
Watch out, I get my
investor's point of
Facebook
view,
Live taken down again by the
Principal
haters.
Inspections give you turnkey inspections that are high quality, affordable, and focused on information
The
for investors
haters.
while not clouding the report with unnecessary.
Doing better on my heart rate zones.
Founder Jeremy Humphrey comes from a family of real estate investors.
I want more time in the orange, less time in the red.
Yeah, that 146 is it's probably a little high, huh? What's the orange?
So orange is you're in the fat burning zone, and then green is the recovery zone. Red you're past you're past fat burning. We did it. We started out with a 1,600 meter row this morning, which is
That's
a
a
mile.
long row.
That's a
That's a
mile.
long row.
I did it in 12 minutes.
Yeah, that's a long row.
And then we went to the strength floor, and we did.
Did you know that
We
there
did
are over
you know the
$24
TRX straps.
trillion in
So
retirement
walk your feet
accounts in
forward
the
as far as you can,
US.
and then you
Imagine
do
if
like
you
a
could
sit down
use
squat,
someone's
and then
IRA to
a
fund
row
all
like
of
that,
your
and then
Oh,
a sit
huh.
down squat, and then a row.
You
Did
can.
12 of those.
Quest IRA is
And then you
based
got on, you know what a
locally here in Houston,
bosun's ball
Texas.
is? You know, it's kind of like it's
Quest
flat on the
IRA,
bottom, and it's
we
kind of one of
offer
those
accounts
round
that
balls.
can be used to invest
And you
in
put
real
your
estate,
shoulders
promissory
on
notes,
that, and
private
then so your
entities,
feet are out
and much
on a
more.
90 degree,
Many
and
of our
they wanted you to
clients
raise
loan
your
money from
hold
their
your core,
IRAs to fund
and then
real
while you're
estate
doing
deals
that, take
all
like a
over the
25 or
country.
30 pound
We
weight
don't
and
sell
do
any investments
12
or give advice.
raises like
However,
that,
we
and then
do
12
hold
on the
free
other side.
networking events,
I
weekly
can only
educational
imagine with something
classes,
like that,
and
how many
free
injuries
Yeah,
they
yeah,
get.
right.
specialist.
Well, I mean,
For more
the good news
information,
is there is a guy
visit
there
our
watching
website
for him
at
and all that, and
Yeah.
then after that it's 12 overheads,
overheads,
and then it's then put the weight here and it's 12 crunches. So, and he did four sets of that, and then back on the rower for another 400 meters. And that's the first half of the workout.
Yeah.
Or go to our website, questira.com.
And I could just about guarantee.
My motto is no pain, no pain. Yeah, nice. No pain, no pain.
Oh, hold on, I can't see. Oh.
Yeah, Richard Drake said, my motto is no pain, no pain.
You're in the wrong business, bro.
Yeah, right.
Specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give NextGen a call.
I think probably the highest peak I want to climb is maybe one of the ones in Hawaii.
I'll tell you what, I like this hiking thing, and I've been. I think it's cool.
The Appalachian Trail thing.
So she's done the Appalachian Trail. She's doing the Pacific Coast Trail right
Oh,
now.
no. How far is that?
2,900.
Oh, it's longer than the
Yeah. So there's three. There's three long. There's the AT, the PCT, and there's another one that zips up through Colorado. And they call them the Triple Crown of hiking. And there are guys that do them in the same calendar year. I don't know how they are just booking like
They must
40
be
miles
retired.
a day or something.
Must be.
Well, they're
They're full-time hikers.
yeah, that's essentially what they do.
Or look for us on Facebook Live at facebook.com.
Maybe they're real estate investors.
Yeah, right. Hey, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio. Jason Bible, Tom Perry in the house, in the studio. We only do this on Wednesdays.
Only Wednesdays.
Only Wednesdays. So so you were saying something before the break about
I thought you were just going to stop right there and go, yeah, what was I saying before the break?
Yeah, you were talking about that most people they don't know all the things that it takes to go hiking a really long distance. And it's fascinating. You know, Colby got a phone call this past week from somebody that came to one of our weekend retreats, and he goes, "Yeah, man, we're flipping a house and we're making like $90,000. So, you know, I think we've got this thing down."
And I laughed. I was like, he was telling us this story, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy has no idea what he's doing. I'm like, go for it, bro. Oh yeah, I mean, why would I want to join your group? And I'm
Yeah.
like, you shouldn't. You know everything, man.
Right.
You know everything. Please stay away.
Right.
Somebody needs a case of humble pie.
Yeah.
I'm like, you are not. It's like going to.
Yeah, you know, Michael Phelps, he's got that swimming thing down. I mean, what does he need a coach for?
Well, you know what my favorite is golf, because a lot of people have played golf before, right? It's like, what's a big deal? Just swing, hit a ball, and walk.
Yeah, right.
What's a big deal? I don't need a golf coach. Look! I just smoked a 275-yard drive, and then I got another 50-yard to carry. Like, I don't need golf lessons. I'm the man. Oh,
Right.
you hit one drive.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Yay!
Golf
one
cla-
dri-
no,
golf
it's
clap.
golf-
Golf
golf-
clap.
golf
Golf
clap.
clap. Yay! You smoked one drive. Guess what? You got 18 more holes, and you haven't even finished the first one yet.
Right.
So this is not
Drive for show.
Yeah, putt for dough.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah. How you doing on that windmill, bro?
Yeah. Wait till you get over. My favorite is it's like you're sitting on the tee box. We're gonna go into a little bit of golf here, so just humor us for a minute. One of my favorite golf courses in Houston, and it's nowhere near the most beautiful.
You have a favorite golf course?
It is. It's my favorite golf
All
course
right.
in Houston, because you have to have the utmost confidence getting right out of the truck, right on the golf course. There's no driving range.
Okay.
It's Glenbrook.
Okay.
You go down to Glenbrook. It's on the south side of town, 45, on the other side of the freeway from Hobby Airport. And you walk up to Glenbrook. You get on the first tee box, and what do you see? Have you ever played there before?
No.
What do you see off that first tee box?
Is there water?
There's a bayou.
Oh,
and
nice.
it's easily 60, 70 yards wide.
Yeah.
Which isn't much for right off the tee box,
No,
right?
right. Mhm.
But you've had no time to warm
Yeah, right,
up.
yeah.
You just walk out of the car, and it's like time to man up right out of the box.
Oh,
man.
nice.
And it's so humbling to see guys that normally drop a 200, 300-yard drive
sure, right.
and then just hit it in the drink for 3 shots.
Yeah.
Because it's all mental.
Right.
It's not like you can do that with like probably an 8-iron.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how wide the bayou is. I can't remember what it is from the tee box to the edge of the bayou. Maybe 130 yards, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like it's that hard. But you're standing there and everyone's shaking and they're like, I haven't had time to warm up and I'm not in my mental space and all
Right.
that other nonsense. It's like, just get up there and hit the drive, right? But real estate is a marathon. It's a 2,800-mile hike. It's a 30-mile run. It's 100 miles on the bike. You can come right out of the gate hot. And we see it a lot. I've told this story a million times
Yeah.
at our weekend retreat. Tom and I met a guy
Yeah.
that made $100,000 on his first deal.
His first wholesale deal.
His first wholesale
He didn't
deal.
even flip it.
He wholesale it.
Yeah, he didn't do any of that. What happened?
What?
You guys were out there for the past like 3 minutes.
Oh.
Oh, we didn't hear anything.
I was trying to tell you, I don't think you heard me. 'cause
Nope.
it was the-
You got to
you're
turn
gonna have
you
to
up.
turn it up on your end. If we keep talking, we can't hear you.
Yeah, turn you up because we can barely hear you.
I'm putting y'all back on here in about 2 seconds, okay?
Oh, so we just
All right.
welcome back.
Are we there? We're back.
Yes, sir. You're back. You're back.
All right. Well, we've got a new producer for us, kind of and making it an interesting show. So you were telling it.
So we get so many people so one of the guys that we had met when we first started in real estate, he made $100,000 on his first wholesale deal.
Yeah, right.
He sent out 200 yellow letters and he made $100,000. And I remember sitting in the back of the room, and this was one of those guys that was involved in every single real estate club in town. And he was like the case study for everybody in town. And I remember sitting in the back of the room, and we had spent $20,000 in marketing at this point, and we hadn't bought a deal yet. And I'm sitting there in the back of the room, and I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. This guy is just smart enough to fog a mirror. I mean, that's how he came off.
Right.
And here he is. He made $100,000 on 200 yellow letters. And I'm like, are we just not smart enough for this business? And then what happened, we got our first deal. We did our first 2 deals. We made 200, we made like 95 on one and 125, 130, whatever it was on the second one. So we made over $200,000 on our first 2 deals.
Our third one made 47.
Yeah, our third one made 47. So then the money started rolling in. We started reinvesting in our business, and that guy was gone 6 months later.
Yeah.
I have not seen him
Yeah.
since that.
I wish
case
we could
study.
remember his name.
I wish I could
Yeah.
too, but he's disappeared. I
Yeah.
don't know where the guy's gone.
Yeah.
And that's what you realize. You may run into some people that just.
I hear he's a cashier at Home Depot.
He probably is, right? You know, he's a barista or something.
right.
So he probably went back and got a job.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of people that you'll run into like, oh yeah, I know everything. I did really well on my first deal out of the gate. And it's like, okay, great.
Yeah.
What about second one? Show me how to do that 10 times a month.
Right.
Because consistency builds wealth. Consistency builds wealth. That's it. Consistency wins the race. Consistency wins the marathon. Consistency gets you up the hill in the Himalayas. Consistency gets you down the trail. Consistency is what gets you
Yeah, it's not always the
everything.
fastest start, right?
No.
You know, in fact, my workout today, you know, there were two guys on either side of me, and we were doing this 1,600-meter row, and they were rowing a lot faster than me. But it was, you do the row, and then you go to the strength floor. And I was just going a steady pace. They finished probably a good 2 minutes ahead of me on the row. So they were 2 minutes ahead of me on the strength floor. But I finished those 4 rounds before they did because, man, they were huffing and puffing after doing the row. They kind of wore themselves out
That's
in
right.
the row.
You wear yourself out.
And I was really pacing myself, making sure my heart rate wasn't getting too high and all that. So I paced myself through that. And, you know, I won't say it was like the tortoise and the hare, but it was a little bit, you know, I was really pacing myself. And so I wasn't taking breaks as I was transitioning.
Yeah.
My transition time from one exercise to the next was really, really consistent. But that's the key is so many things in life, it's just the consistent, methodical pace. You know, one of the things that we talk about from time to time is, you know, investors get really, really excited when they're doing their deal. And it used to make me laugh when, you know, they're like, hey, Tom, you know, I'm closing on Thursday, and so I need your crew there first thing on Friday, you know, and this is a $30,000 rehab, and we gotta get in there and got to get you guys in there early, you know, got to get a fast start, we got to keep, you know, it's like, wait, slow down, dude. This is what we do every day. I mean, the guys just finished up a 3-week job. You know, they're not taking a break. They're starting your job. Guess what they do 50 weeks out of the year?
Yeah, they do this.
Yeah, these guys are not going to go at NASCAR pit crew pace. You know, Discount Tire, they change, what do you think, a few million tires, maybe a month? A month, right. You know, they're not as fast as NASCAR pit crews.
Yeah.
You know, a NASCAR pit crew can change a set of tires in under 10 seconds, allegedly, right? I don't know that you want to build a business model around doing that pace day in and day out. You know, hitting home runs in baseball. You know, probably wouldn't want to build a baseball team around just hitting grand slams.
Yeah.
You know, home runs are nice. I mean, Altuve did pretty well hitting some home runs this year, allegedly.
Yeah.
And but you wouldn't want to build a business model out of. It's still a lot fewer home runs than he has at bats.
Well, to continue with the sports analogy, can you win the World Series in the first week of the season? It's impossible, right?
No.
You can't do it in football. You cannot be a champion. You cannot be a champion in short amount of time.
Apparently, it took 7 games in the World Series to finally win the. I mean, it wasn't decided till Game 7.
That's right.
In the last game of the season, the world champion was decided.
I'll tell you what I love about that whole season is whipping all of the, how can I put this, all of the tier 1 teams in the playoff. I mean, just
the highest payroll in the
just destroying all of those traditional baseball teams all the way to the top, because it doesn't matter. And that's there's so many great analogies there. It doesn't matter how big the check is you write.
Right.
It really doesn't. It's how you perform, how consistently you perform over the long haul. I see it time and time again. I see these guys get in this business, and they flame out. I'll tell you what, it's playing out. Now, I realize not everybody sees this. Y'all don't have the Facebook feed that I've got. I got all these people following me. I got all this. I see a lot of stuff a lot of people don't. It's like we started the show laughing about Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It's the same reason these people are going to lose a ton of money by not necessarily by not investing in, by not investing in real estate, but they're taking their eyes off the ball and they're doing something else.
Yes.
It's like getting halfway down the Appalachian Trail and then saying, oh, you know what? Instead of hiking this whole thing, I want to be a long-distance swimmer.
Yeah.
So they stop off and they start training for long-distance swimming because that looks like it gets me a higher return.
Josh, you got to turn yourself up.
So that's the whole point here, folks. It's building consistency over time, because that's what's going to get you wealth. It's not these short-term little gains. It's consistency over the long haul. So
Josh, how much time?
Yeah, I don't know where we're at in the radio show.
Got 30 seconds.
All right, cool. 30 seconds. Thanks. All right, so all that's to say, there is a plan and a path that we can teach you how to retire in 5 years or less if you wanted. And depending on where it is that you want, and what you really have to decide is where do you want to be a year from now, 3 years from now, and 5 years from now, because most people don't even start with that. Most people spend more time deciding on where they want to go on their family vacation than they do where they want to be in their life a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now. So we're going to continue this conversation on the other side of the break. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call, 713-785-1817.
What? Oh, you looking for the window washers?
Your potential return on it.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're gonna have to turn it up because we're talking. We can
So
hardly
let me
hear you.
explain something to you. What happened earlier? Your connection was lost on the ISDN line. Like it just disconnected right in the middle of your broadcast.
Which is weird because then it reconnected. Huh.
Yeah, and I couldn't hear, like, y'all couldn't hear me. I couldn't hear anything you were saying at all. And you just came back randomly.
Interesting. Okay.
So that's what happened. So I had 3 minutes of dead air. I was trying to fill in with spots. I was like, what the hell? You know?
It died for 3 minutes?
Yeah, it was off. Like, I didn't hear anything, and then it started breaking up and then came back.
Huh. Okay.
So, yeah, that's what happened there.
.com. And don't forget to tell us you heard about us at Right Path Real Estate.
Do you have cracks in your brick, doors that stick, or sheetrock that's coming apart? Then you may have foundation movement. Due to our expansive soils in the Houston area, it's probably not a question of if you have movement, but when. Call Foundation Check for a truly independent, unbiased foundation evaluation. Foundation Check has been in business since 2009 and has completed over 1,400 evaluations. We're not in the business of repairing foundations or selling you unnecessary peer work, but we are in the business of evaluating your foundation. Our product is designed for house flippers, landlords, or even owner-occupied properties. Each of our files is reviewed by a licensed engineer. Remember to check before every repair. Call 346-702-3825. That's 346-702-3825.
Oh, gosh, I got to go by the bank today. I'll tell you what, guys, if there's anything that I hate worse, it is going to the bank
Time is money in a real estate
and
deal.
starting a
If
new
your
bank
insurance
account for
company
an
is slow or
LLC. It's a total
non-responsive, You could
pain.
lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes or binders? The agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. We're here for you. Are you a rehabber, wholesaler, buy and hold, or flipper? Bundling your properties on a single policy will help save time and money. Benchmark has been
So
in
he
business
said
for
our
10
signal
years.
from here
We
went
insure
dead
over
for
30,000
3 minutes.
Contact Benchmark
Yeah,
about our exclusive investment
they lost the
package.
signal from us
Call
for
us
3
and
minutes.
Let us show you what we can do for you at 281.
They lost the signal from us for 3 minutes?
Yeah.
That's 281.
And then it just
The
reconnected,
Comrex
which
access was down.
The what? The Comrex was down?
Access was down for 3 minutes.
Huh.
Y'all, it started breaking up. Like, I can play the audio back for
Yeah.
you. And then I just lost you completely.
That's the first time that's happened here, isn't it?
I think so.
Real estate investors, if you're not familiar,
Well, they are putting
Of
that.
course it would happen today, of course.
Do what?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Well, we
Of
moved.
course
Our,
it would happen today, of course.
yeah. Well, our old building. I mean, we would lose a signal like
Yeah, right.
once a month. It would.
But we haven't since, because we've got dedicated fiber now.
I swear it's because we're on a nicer side of town too.
Y'all got about 40 seconds.
All right.
call us at 1-855-FUN-IRAs or visit our website at questira.com.
Are you looking for an
So one-
investor-friendly general
okay,
contractor
so one thing
for
I
your
think we ought to
investment
do
property?
this afternoon,
Call
I want to go over
Fast
this
Track
marketing thing
Remodeling
with you,
at
and then I think we pull up our
742-9992
trees
or
for
reach
each
us
of
on the
us,
web at
and then focus on like we need to do this one thing, like on your side, then on Toby's, and on mine.
Single-family investment properties, whether it's a
Because I got
flip
60
rehab or
people
a
here,
rental
but
rehab.
I got
No more managing
I got
it
one
yourself.
strong leg, and
No
I
more
got
doing the
ones that are
work
kind of
yourself.
floundering.
Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992.
You know what's funny?
This is Business
Is that
in
leg that got
Wilmington.
built? It was just
Call
me on the
Jason or
phone
Tom,
calling like 7 people. I just need to get on the phone again.
713-785-1817. Or look for us on Facebook Live at facebook.com/RightPathRealEstate.
Hey, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. So we do have a free event that you can come to if you want to. If you don't have a retirement plan, if you're not on track to retire in the next 3 to 5 years, and you want to, if you're frustrated with where you are with your retirement, then you need to come to our free event. We're going to talk about building wealth and building income, building towards that retirement, so that you can be done if you want. It doesn't mean you have to retire. Just because you can doesn't mean you have to.
Yeah,
I mean that's a great thing, and then it'll allow you to put a plan of action in place so you can take control of your better future. All you got to do is go to our rightpathrealestate.com website. That's rightpathrealestate.com. It's free. No chance you can talk us down on that. That's our lowest price. It's free to come to.
Free?
Yeah, it's 11451 Katy Freeway. We would like you to register to attend. We also have this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You get Jason and I both live in person. We're going to be talking about building wealth, building income through real estate. We're going to be talking about buy, fix, and flip. We're going to be talking about wholesaling. We're going to be talking about buy and hold in real estate. And strategies they change over time. They change. There's times when it's best to flip. There's times when it's best to buy and hold. I mean, for us, it wasn't that great to buy and hold the last 3 or 4 years, but now that's changing.
Yep.
And there's some tremendous. Here's what people don't realize is the timing in the marketplace right now in Houston, Texas. This is not nationwide. It's unique to Houston. Think about this. If you'd have told me 6 months ago that you could be buying houses in Memorial at 50 or 60 cents on the dollar, I mean, I'd have been like, oh, you're crazy, man. That is when you can really create generational wealth. Mm-hmm. This is where you have an opportunity to not change your future, your kids' future. It's where you can have your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren saying, hey, yeah, you remember great-grandpa Bible, what he did back in 2017, 18, and 19? That set up a legacy.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. We had lunch with a couple of our lenders, some very, very wealthy, successful guys, and one of the things they told us at that luncheon we had is they said, guys, now's the time y'all build that rental portfolio up.
Yeah,
and I said, no, you're preaching the choir here, brother.
Right.
I mean, we're gonna buy so many more rentals than we have in the past, and now's the time to do it. And if you wait, you're gonna miss it. You can't wait. If you wait, you're gonna turn around and go, oh man, why didn't I buy all those houses? Go back to 2007 and 2008. That was a great time to buy houses after the crash. How many people have doubled or tripled their net worth
1 minute
by buying those houses? And now's your time.
Go to rightpathrealestate.com or send an email to support@rightpathrealestate.com. That's support@rightpathrealestate.com. So go to rightpathrealestate.com. Go to the events tab, and then all you need to do is register. We've got a free event tomorrow night. We've also got our weekend retreat Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And we have a few spots available for the weekend retreat. And anything else you want to add?
I think that'll do it. If you want a spot at the weekend retreat, send an email to support at Right Path Real Estate. Otherwise, we'll see you Thursday night in our Intro to
Wealth and
Income and Wealth workshop. Thanks for listening, guys. I will be on the show. No, you'll
Friday.
be on the show tomorrow.
I'll be build your team Thursday, and then you'll be on with Investor Friday.
Yep. See you guys then.
Thanks, Josh. Mic's off.
You've been listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio.